Okay, so my first question to you is that there are two, you work in two very different artistic areas, clothing and visual arts. So, what skills overlap do you find in those two areas?
Oh, well, I guess the one brought me into the other because um, I started making clothes at a very young age. I started sewing when I was in the single digits, and it was something that seemingly that I've always done, and I've always done well. And um,
And that's not bragging if it's true.
I didn't mean to sound like I was
No, no, no.
bragging,
It's
but
okay to be proud of
even
good work
taking
that you've
home
done.
ec, the teacher felt threatened because I could think in grander spaces than she could when it came to sewing. What it led to was me designing my own things and trying to get and in trying to get those designs out of my mind, out of that mental space to allow room for something else, I had to put it down on paper. Now, as a child, I never drew, I never colored, I never did any of that thing. It wasn't that I wasn't encouraged to do so. I was that kid that hid their box of crayons because you didn't want anybody else to play with them in case they broke them. That was me. And but I found that I had to put my ideas for my designs down, and as I was doing that, the more that I tried to put these designs down. At first, they were very simplistic and very
Crude?
crude, childish, and in a way. But they got better and they improved from design to design throughout my book. If you were to look at it, you could see the sequence on how things improved. And I asked Peter what I should be doing, like in order to make this better, because still they weren't the best. And not that I needed to be the best, but I wanted things to look intelligent or intelligible, if that's a word.
Both ways.
And he said that I needed to start practicing drawing the human figure, or the human shape. And so I gave that a little bit of thought, and I went in one day and I said, could you download some nude sketches for me to
A magical moment in every husband's life.
to see if I can draw them, because I'm not one to be able to visually put something down on paper without something to look upon. You know what I mean? It doesn't come freely from my mind.
So would you say that then you moved on to a study of the human form, which allowed you to to then draw your clothing designs on a human form rather than flat on the paper?
Yes, and amazingly enough, they were pretty good. They were pretty decent, and
like right out of the gate, like
shockingly so. I'm not quite sure where that came from and
a hidden talent.
How we didn't realize it, when we were kids. But it just never came up, and that was in November of 2016, and here we are in August of 2017, not a year later, and
okay. I'm
leaps
going
and bounds.
to stop you there because I think you're starting to move into other questions that I have.
Okay, so that's another pin.
Yeah.